One thing that we need to start understanding as women is that we are really worthy of the things that we desire. And something that I have noticed and that I have seen, I'm going forward into my relationship coaching business, right? And helping people and families out. I just want to talk about this message for women and for men too, and for anybody. But like, I try to talk from my own experience as a woman and from other women that I've talked to. A lot of people, a lot of women that I know are in these unhealthy relationships because they have not learned that they deserve better than what they have in front of them. And that saddens me. A lot of people are divorced. They're, you know, in these relationships that don't serve them, not actually getting to the relationship that they really want. And this was for me too, like before I like in this relationship that I'm in now. And sometimes when in my relationship, I'm negotiating with my person, like I tell my husband, like, we have to go work on things, but I have to work on things in myself and know how to like fight for my own worth. But a lot of us have not been taught to know how worthy we are of a really great relationship. It doesn't mean that we're better than the person we get into a relationship with, but that we're worthy of the relationship that we have in our brain, that when we actually dream about it, it makes us smile and not have tears when we wake up or have anxiety. And that's because of whatever has happened in our past that told us that we can't have the things that we can have. And we have to, it's our responsibility as women, as humans, but as women, to really and truly go and look in our past and see what made us start believing that we can't have the things that we really and truly want. What is it that made us feel that we're inferior to somebody or that we deserve to have a relationship and stay in a relationship for years and years that isn't giving us what we want, or that's abusive, or that's neglectful, or that doesn't show up for us? What made us feel like that? And yes, I do believe in the power of prayer and that God can heal things and repair things. But in order to pray for a better relationship, you have to know that you're deserving of that. At least have the thought. And it's not always the other person's fault. It's not the other person's job to do that work. You have to do the work on yourself first to know you're worthy. It comes from knowing that you come from God, first of all, and that we're all on this equal plane so that nobody gets to treat you bad or make you feel inferior. But also it comes from you examining your life from when you were a child to how you are now, and really and truly looking at the memories and things, even though they're painful, of when did you start feeling that you can't have this? And yes, it is sometimes cultural. It could be your grandparents or your parents didn't instill this in you or whatever it is, but you have to honestly look at it to get the relationship that you want and to get out of the relationships that you don't want, and to stop having this cycle of being in the same relationship or talking shit about people or believing that there aren't good people out there. Excuse my language. I really tried not to curse. But this is really important to me because I see so many people who are blaming the other person. It's like, no, it's our job. Because then you're just giving your power away to every single person that has messed you up. You know what I mean? I had to learn this through social work and through being a social worker, through social work, through doing life coaching, through doing my own self-development. It's our job as women to take the power back and to not rely on somebody else to make us feel of worth. And you have to know that, because even if you're in the ideal relationship that you want to be in, there are going to be times where it's really hard. And the only way for you to fight for your worth and for, the decision that is right for yourself in the relationship, you have to know you're worthy of that. Even if you're with the right person, there are still going to be problems that you have to know you're worthy of to solve and to have the best scenario and decision. It's like, for example, if I get into an argument with my husband and he's like telling me something, or I have to know to like, no, I don't accept that. And the same for him. But you have to know you're worthy of that. And it takes time to get there if you haven't given yourself the opportunity to actually look inside of you and figure out, like, what is it? And yes, I know there will never be a time where you perfectly do this, but you have to at least start the path to getting there. Or else you're going to end up really, a lot older. And I was going to say really old because there are some people that I visited who are older in nursing homes when I was a social worker. And they told me these things. You learn a lot from the elderly, but you're gonna end up older, and maybe you are gonna be older in your 90s or hundreds or 80s. But you're gonna end up older and alone, wishing you had done that work so that you're not alone. So do the work now. Look inside of yourself. It's really empowering to be able to look at what's happened in your past and to choose to move past that. That's where real power is, and only you can do that for yourself. Nobody else can do that for you. You go to a therapist, you go to a life coach, you go to a pastor, you go to God. All these people give you guidance, but it is your decision to change and to move forward and tell yourself another story. So anyways, I got to take care of the baby and it's really warm, so we're going out. Bye.